Hi everyone, welcome back. And in this video, I'll be giving you some information on building user acceptable products. So, as business analysts, we always build products and features, but what we always focus on is it's always what feature do we need to build next. So, always teams, product owners, business analysts, they are more focused on building roadmaps with features, running iterations, releasing features, etc. So, it's all about outputs. But one question we need to ask ourselves, will our customers use our product or the feature? So we put in so much of time, effort, and resources into building a particular product or feature. But though a product or feature is feasible, it may not be desirable for the user. So, how do teams overcome this particular situation? That must be a question in your mind. So, experts like Marty Kagan and other experts, they recommend certain, practices that product teams do in order to avoid this uncertainty and fuzzy situation. So, the very first one is risk analysis. So, there are different types of risk that product teams need to first analyze and then see whether a particular product or a feature can be implemented. So even before going into implementation, you need to go through these different risks and see. So generally, the mind of a business analyst or product owner manager, mainly business analysts, they have this mindset whenever a requirement is got, they first see how it can be implemented. They go into the solutioning space. But that's something that needs to be avoided. Before a team ever gets into the solutioning space, they need to do this risk analysis. And what are the different risks that need to be analyzed? The first one is value risk. So, value risk is nothing but analyzing whether end customers or users would be able to use or they would desire to use your product or feature. So, no matter whatever time and effort and cost you're going to put in and invest in this product or feature, you need to first know whether it's going to provide value and also if customers are going to desire to use that particular feature or product. When they use it, when it's desirable and they use it, that's the success. If they are not going to do it, it's a failure and it's a waste of the team's time, effort, and whatever money that's being invested. The next risk is usability risk. That is, you should be able to define or at least come up with some idea and probability whether teams or the end users are going to be able to use your feature or that particular product. So no matter whatever great product you build, if it's really going to be complex, okay, you might think it has great features in it and it's solving great problems, but if it's not something that can be used by users, then definitely they might think or they might get frustrated to use your product and they might opt out of it. So that's something that you need to even think about. The next one is being able to do a feasibility risk analysis. That is, being able to check and see whether your product, the development team, would be able to develop that feature or product in the first place. And the last one is business risk. So you need to think about whether the business, okay, that's building a particular product or if it's the feature, whether they'll be able to sustain that product, whether they'll be able to manage it in terms of cost and other factors. So that also needs to be taken into consideration. So once you have the answers for all these questions and when you know that it's worthwhile taking that or building that product or that feature, then you can think about implementation. Okay, so always try to have that mindset of not just jumping into the solution, but try to have that mindset of first seeing whether really that problem is worthwhile to solve, and then if it's worthwhile solving, whether it's going to be adapted by the users and all what I mentioned. Okay, the second one is, instead of business analyst and the product owner and just that team sitting down and defining, getting the requirements and then seeing how they can solve that problem, instead of that, experts recommend that members from every team, that is from the designing team, the development team, the quality analyst, all of them come together and define what's the exact problem, and then they can discuss about the solution. Why is that so? Because they know and they feel that everyone come with their own experiences, with their backgrounds, and everyone have great ideas. So when all these great ideas come together, a very effective and a beautiful product and feature can be released. So that's the main idea. So though there are, kind of one thing. So in agile, the main advantage is that this continuous value delivery and continuous feedback. So we think that agile, yes, of course, it overcomes a lot of drawbacks of the waterfall model. But if you see, there's a lot of tiny little essence of waterfall model even in agile. Okay, so if you see in an iteration, again the business analyst and the product team, they get the requirements, they sit down, they do an analysis, right, user stories, then they finish it, they give it to the UX team, they do the designing, then it's moved to the development team, they finish development, and then you have the QA team test it out, and it's being released. Okay, so in this very first phase where only the business analyst and product owner all sit down to discuss that solution, the experts recommend that instead of only these people sitting down and discussing the solution, bring everyone into that forum and have discussions, and great ideas would come out and great solutions can also be brought about. And the last one is, don't have the mindset that you have to release features. It's not features. Okay, now businesses, they are moving on from feature driven to value driven. So more than thinking about what feature next I can release, you should be thinking about what problem I can solve, and what value I can provide to my customers and users. When you start solving problems that are kind of really pain points for customers, when you start providing value to them, automatically there's going to be adoption of your product or the feature. So these are the three mindsets or practices that are recommended, and slowly you can see teams kind of adopting to this. It's kind of little new, and it does take some time to get into that mindset, but this is how teams are kind of starting to work and progress, because they want to reduce a lot of waste, reduce the amount of time, effort being spent, and then at the end getting to know that something doesn't work or is not adopted by customers. So this is something that I wanted to let you know. If you like this video, please do give this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, and also do share your feedbacks. Thank you.